Hey, Chris Rogers here with Whirlwind.com, and I've got a quick look at the Alienware 17. This is the Alienware that they released last year. It's a redesigned Alienware, so new for this is the next generation Alienware laptop. And they released them in 14, 17, and 18 inches. So this is the one in the middle, 17, which is still the high end of the sort of size for traditional laptops. And that's really the first thing you're going to notice about this laptop, is that it's big, and it's clunky, and it's heavy. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. This is a purpose-built gaming machine, so it's got lots of high-end specs inside, lots of high-end hardware, specifically for gamers and PC gamers and hardcore PC gamers, people who are going to be running sort of flashy games and games where they are playing them at full resolutions, not casual stuff, but sort of big polygon intensive games that require lots of hardware to do that properly. So you're going to notice about the weight first of all, and it is about 10 pounds worth of laptop, give or take. And for all of that, you're going to get that big 17-inch display, full keyboard, and the number pad, as well as these 4 macro keys up here and the touchpad. You're also going to get full-size ports along the sides. So you've got a Blu-ray combo drive here. That's an upgrade. These are USB 3.0 and a full-size Ethernet on this side. And along this side, you're going to have HDMI full-size mini display, 2 full-size HDMI 3s, and 3 different 3.5mm headset and mic jacks. So that's lots to write home about. Those are a great selection of ports. You've also got the 17-inch full HD, so that's 1920 by 1080 display, webcam and mics installed in the bezel here. The other thing you're going to notice right away about this PC is the lighting. There's lights on the top, there's lights on the grills, there's lights on the sides, there's lights behind the keyboard, and in the Alienware symbol there are 10 different lighting zones altogether on this PC, and they're all interchangeable, they're all customizable, so you can change each of the 10 zones to a different color if that's what you want, or you can save them out to a profile. The only thing on the hardware side I would say is lacking from this PC is hardware buttons or customizable buttons. There are these 4 buttons that can be set to different things using the included software. But I think that's just not enough. A lot of the time you're accessing media keys and such while you're playing games, trying to turn the volume on and up and down, and actually what happens is it brings up these graphics, spits you back out, will probably spit you back out to the desktop. And why use function key plus F keys when you've got a 17-inch laptop with all this space? Put some hardware buttons on there. If you're gonna go for everything, you might as well put everything in there. That aside, this is running a Core i7 4800M, which is a high-end Haswell 4th generation Intel Core processor. It's 2.7 gigahertz. It turbo boosts up to more than that. It's got an NVIDIA GeForce. This is the highest end, so there's 3 different video cards you can equip it with. This has the high-end GeForce GTX 780M. That's still, even though it's a year old now, is still near the top end of what is on offer for mobile video cards. This one has 16 gigs of RAM. Standard is 8. You can go up to 32, I believe, through customization. And this also has an SSD with the hard drive. It's 256 gigs, so of SSD, so you can install games on that. It's not just enough for the operating system. It's also got a 1 terabyte hard drive as sort of the combo on there, which is a really nice touch. The display, as mentioned before, full 1080p display. It's also, I'd say, the weakest point of the hardware. The horizontal viewing angles are actually pretty good on this display, but I find that the vertical up and down is not that great. It's a good non-glossy display, though. I say for the size of the bezel, they probably could have gone 1920 by 1200. That's my preference, but a lot of people play on 1080 displays, so it's not a bad display, but I'd say it is the weakest part of all the hardware. On the software side, it's actually a really good story with this PC. One thing that Alienware hasn't done is loaded up with a lot of bloatware, loaded up with a lot of stuff you're not going to use, like antivirus trials and productivity trials. Those aren't here. What's here is the Alienware suite, which is sort of in collaboration with Dell and what they provide on their PCs, but it's all Alienware branded, and it's actually all about customizing the experience for the user. So changing the lighting displays, and you can set up profiles, and it's actually really easy to do, and really easy to customize, and really easy to activate. You can also set these things up so that the entire PC will change. The lighting display will change based on what game you open or what program you open. You can have it so you double click on an icon to open up a specific game, and the whole PC will change into that particular mode. So that's kind of a neat touch. Also through that software you can change these 4 macro buttons, you can assign keystrokes, you can assign whatever you want to them, and that can be switched up. So there's lots of good customizing that can go on with this PC. You can really make it yours as much as you can make a laptop yours. This is really, as far as this would be the customizer's laptop. So it's a great software story, I think, overall. Now, final thoughts on this. It runs games great. You can take a look at the review for gaming and for my experience playing games on it. But overall, despite it being a hefty machine, I think it's a great design. They're not looking to make a slim and light laptop. This is not an Ultrabook. This is not a business machine. This is a purpose-built gaming rig. And so if you're regularly lugging your big PC around with a different monitor and a mouse and a keyboard to LAN parties or tournaments or whatever, this is one compact package that you could take with you. It might not replace your desktop because you've got all those peripherals you like, but it's certainly a great mobile solution for you. The weight is a consideration I think you're going to have to look at just because it's there. But overall, I think it works with the design. It's really good at what it does. The hardware still holds up today. We're almost 12 months after the fact that it was released, so it was released last summer. The hardware still holds up today. Great design, and that's my final thoughts on the Alienware 17.